Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra, I'm preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today is very special lecture. Today I'm going to talk about the motivations, how to get a motivation from others. Self motivation is important, or the motivation which actually we gain from outside, that is important. Means there is a difference between both. So we are going to understand what is the difference between the self motivations and the motivation which actually some other will motivate to all of us. So in personal motivation and personal motivations, so self motivation, self induction. So Lord Krishna here stated, wherever we are thinking about motivation, wherever we are thinking about, actually we all are having some kind of the skills, some kind of knowledge, some kind of the energy, but at the same time we have to arouse, we have to rise our inner voice, our eternal energy. We have to understand what is our eternal potential. Once we came to know about our eternal potential, eternal energy, then we will surely get a self motivation. And the self, for the self induction, some kind of ignition is required. And what kind of ignition, what kind of energy is required? Actually from the some incident, actually we got to know about the goal of our life, what we have to do. Actually each and every situation will definitely make all of us learn. So situation is required. So Lord Krishna here stated, the person who actually aroused from the situation, from the other person's experience, then this kind of motivation is not important, this kind of motivation is worthless. For what kind of motivation is worthful? Here Krishna stated the self motivations, the motivation without any desire, without any kind of expectation, without any kind of situation. The motivation should not based on situation. So situation based motivation always wipe out. Always, sometime we will get a motivation, sometime we will not get motivation. So once we decide the goal of life, our motivation should not harm to other people. It should not be personal. It should be, our motivation should lead not threat the society. So motivation is required. Here Krishna stated, once you decide, once you get self realization, once you come to know who you are, what is the goal of your life, and what kind of duty you have to perform, then you will surely be motivated. Only, many people told me, only and only your presence is required to motivate anybody's. Only my presence is required rather than my words, my only aura. We have to make our aura strong. Then only our aura will reflect our character, our aura will motivate to someone. So many people told me, your presence, physical presence is only required to motivate anybody, because I'm totally motivated, I'm too much motivated, and I'm trying to motivate other people. So this is what we have to understand, this is what we have to think, what kind of motivation we have required, and what ought to do and what ought not to do, what kind of action we have to perform. This is what we have to understand, this is what we must have to do. We have to understand what kind of actions will harm to other people. Lord Krishna here stated, in order to motivate yourself, you have to understand the actual requirement of the action, whether this kind of the action is required or not. Once we understood, Lord Krishna here make all of us understand in chapter number 4. Here Krishna stated, we all must have to know about the difference between the action and inaction, and inaction, action into inaction, and inaction into action. So once we come to know about the action, what kind of action is primarily required to perform, then only we will surely get a motivation, we will surely be on a right path. So path, our motivation will not lead all of us to move on the wrong path. Our motivation should be ethical motivation, should be performance based motivations, and should not harm to anybody, should not harm to the society. So this kind of motivation is only we require. Self motivations and other impersonal motivation and personal motivations. So impersonal motivation and personal motivations both are actually required, but self motivation is playing a pivotal role to perform any action, any duties. Whenever we are thinking, means our motivation, actually our desire will inspire to all of us. Our desire is only motivating to all of us to perform or exhibit some action. So once we actually kill our desire, our expectation. Once we make ourselves free from the material desire, material expectation, then people will surely think about how will people get motivation. People will get a motivation. So desireless actions will definitely make all of you motivate. So once we motivate ourselves, once we understand, it's something like niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jaya hi akarmanah. Sarira yatra pichate na parisate tantu akarmanah. Here Krishna Vasudev here stated, perform your prescribed duty. Working is better than not working. Working is better than not working. And no one can maintain his or her physical body without performing his action, without performing his duty. Here Krishna stated, no one can motivate you unless you are not motivated by yourself. So Krishna will definitely help you out. Krishna will definitely show you the right path. Krishna is only showing you right path. Krishna only showing you right motivations. Krishna will surely give you indications about on which path you have to move and on which path you don't have to move. But ultimately we have to decide, because we all are content with the self desire and self expectation. So our self expectation and desire will definitely lead all of us on a wrong path. So our self motivation should not lead all of us on wrong path and harming to the society. This is what I'm trying to tell all of you. I hope you all can understand. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe.